Galaxy Empire thought they won until human Diplomat Said check the treaty. The banners of the Veyari Empire draped across the shattered Concord chamber, their golden mandibles gleaming as they celebrated victory. The war had lasted a decade, and the galaxy's greatest coalition now lay broken. At the head of the chamber, Emperor Kairos stood tall, his crystalline crown casting fractured light. "The Concord is no more," he declared. "The stars bow to the Veyari. All species will submit, or perish." The defeated delegates hung their heads in despair. The Carith snarled quietly, the Lutheri quivered into silence, the Illyri's wings drooped. Even the usually defiant humans seemed beaten, save for one. Ambassador Daniel Reeves rose slowly, straightening his worn suit. He looked almost laughable amid armored guards and jeweled dignitaries. But his eyes burned with a quiet fire. "Your Excellency," Reeves said, his voice calm. "On behalf of Earth, I must ask you to check the treaty." Laughter in the hall. The chamber erupted in derision. "Treaty," hissed Kairos, mandibles clacking in amusement. "Your Concord is ashes. Your fleets are wreckage. Your colonies burn. What treaty do you speak of, little primate?" Reeves didn't flinch. He pulled a small datapad from his satchel and projected a hologram. The Concord Charter shimmered into view, signed centuries ago when the galaxy's empires first agreed to rules of war. "The Armistice Accords," Reeves said. "Ratified by your empire. Witnessed by ours. Specifically, Clause 12. Clause 12. The hologram highlighted the clause, words etched in a dozen alien scripts. "No victor may claim dominion over a species that is not formally surrendered. Any attempt shall constitute an automatic declaration of war by all signatories against the violator." Reeves looked around the chamber. "You may have defeated the Concord, Your Excellency. But humanity never surrendered. Nor did the Carith. Nor the Lutheri. Nor the Illyri. By Clause 12, if you enforce dominion, you reignite war not just with us, but with every signatory to the Accords." The chamber fell silent. The Emperor's rage. Kairos's wings flared, casting shards of light across the walls. "You dare bind me with scraps of paper," he roared. Reeves met his gaze evenly. "It's not paper. It's law. And law is what keeps empires from eating themselves alive. You have no fleets left." Kairos snarled. "No armies. What threat are you?" Reeves allowed a faint smile. "Check the treaty." The weight of words. Murmurs spread through the chamber. The Illyri delegates lifted their heads, hope flickering in their eyes. The Lutheri quivered with renewed energy. Even the Carith growled approvingly at the humans' defiance. Because they all remembered something the Veyari had ignored, humans were deathwelders. They didn't stop fighting just because they were beaten. They found loopholes. They found cracks. They endured. The Emperor's advisors whispered urgently at his side. One of them, a thin insectoid with trembling antennae, finally dared to speak. "Sire, Clause 12 is binding. To violate it would risk war with species outside this galaxy as well. The Terrans spread it further than we realized." Kairos's mandibles clicked in fury. The hidden card. Reeves pressed the advantage. "You thought this was a war of fleets and soldiers. It wasn't. It was a war of words, of signatures, of promises made long before you declared yourself conqueror." He tapped his datapad again, pulling up records of dozens of lesser species, small, ignored civilizations that humanity had quietly persuaded to sign the Accords. "They look insignificant to you. But every one is a trigger. Violate their sovereignty, and you ignite alliances you didn't even know existed." The turn. The Emperor stood trembling with rage. Yet he couldn't deny the truth glowing in the hologram. His empire, stretched thin from conquest, could not withstand another galaxy-wide coalition. You would hide behind legalities, Kairos spat. Reeves's expression hardened. We would uphold them. Because that's what keeps civilizations from tearing themselves apart. You thought victory meant crushing us with ships and fire. But real victory? It's keeping the galaxy together after the war is done. Something you clearly don't understand. The silence that followed was deafening. The withdrawal. At last, Kairos turned, his crystalline crown dim. Very well. The Veyari Empire will honor Clause 12. For now. The humans did not cheer. The Ileri did not sing. The Lutheri did not ripple in relief. Instead, they all looked at Reeves with new respect and new fear. Because in that moment, they realized something. Humans didn't need claws or fleets to win. They could weaponize promises, turn treaties into blades, and bind empires with nothing but words. Epilogue, The Whisper. Later, in the shadowed halls of Concord's ruins, a Karath general muttered to his aide. The Veyari thought they won. But the human reminded them wars aren't won when the fighting ends. They're won when the words are spoken. And across the stars, species whispered the same refrain. Check the treaty. Always check the treaty. Because the galaxy had learned the most dangerous weapon of all wasn't human steel or fire. It was human cunning.